We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport. Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We've got a great one for you today. It is Pony Power. We've got Briggs Surratt in the house. We're going to talk about Couture and all of his great horses that he's got going. So let's take a quick check-in with Horse Trailer Pros, and we'll be right back and get to it.
Let's do it.
Want to advertise on the John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. John, we are in the Horse Trailer Pros studio. This is season 6, episode 10. We're already in May.
It is happening fast.
What's going on?
It is happening really fast. Getting ready for Bromont.
Can you believe it?
Actually, shameless plug for Horse Trailer Pros. I just sent my trailer in for its checkup before I head up to Bromont, because I was like, I don't think I want to go all the way to Bromont if my trailer hasn't been looked over in the last, I guess the last time I had it in was October. So get a little checkup, make sure the brakes are good, they're making it all ship shape and roadworthy for me.
And mine's going in soon as well. Yeah, great company. Matt and Max take care of you, and it's wonderful to get it in there.
Absolutely.
Look, you had a great go at Tryon. Super proud of you.
I mean, they were all right.
No, they weren't all right. They were great.
They were good. They were great.
Esmeralda was top form.
Yeah, they were
Now,
both
I
good.
know you didn't. You probably could have been in the top 2 or 3 with time, but
Yeah.
you don't go for time right now.
Well, I mean,
know,
so that's interesting, right? And we should talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I did go out trying to be somewhat competitive.
More efficient.
Yeah. I still need to be more efficient, obviously. But it's funny, like, when I first came out east and was riding with Peter Gray, I remember, like, you started out, and I'm not saying it's necessarily, I think it's the right thing, but I don't know. Like, you came out, you ran a level below, then you moved your horse up, you ran at the level slow, then you ran at the level quick, and then you ran at the level slow, and then you went to your 3-day. And it doesn't seem like anybody does that anymore. It seems like we just always go fast.
I mean, I don't notice everybody going fast. I do notice that when people are my perception and what I see is when people are getting ready to go, they are cognizant of what they're doing on time. Because you'll see at the beginning of the year, there's significant time.
Yeah.
And then it trims down. I think it also has to do, to me, I think it has to do with that day and that horse that you have when you're going out the start box.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you might 2 weeks before say, I'm going to go there in due time. And then you get there and things might not.
Well, it was wet and all that, but I will say I was trying to be quicker than I was, and I was not able to do it and feel like I was getting good jumps.
Being quicker is not so much as being quicker.
Go fast and take chances, Rick.
Or make more efficient lines.
Yeah.
Stop staying in the air so long with Esmeralda. She loves to hang up there and say, hello, everybody.
We'll see. So, yeah, we're going to go up to Bromont and hopefully be able to
let's
smoke
change
around
the
that.
subject. What place did you end up on Esmeralda?
I think she was 10th and Kurt was 9th.
That's good.
Yeah.
And that you were in the top.
Yeah.
Dressage, you were in the top, and then you had
They show jump great, yeah.
Show jump, so you were up there, and then you had time. And you
didn't have a pole all weekend, actually.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. That is a lot to be said. This is a string of horses you've been working hard on.
Thanks, appreciate it.
I got to keep touting you. It's been a hard road.
It's been fun.
It's been a fun road, but let's be honest to everybody out there. you sit there and go, damn, this sport is hard, and you get something swacked at you,
Yeah.
and then you're like, shit, I got to start all over.
I mean,
Then you're like,
I'd
I
like to
remember when
not.
you got this last string, and you're like, this is it.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But congratulations.
Yeah, I
That's really
appreciate
good.
it.
I think you have some really nice horses.
I appreciate it.
I'm excited for you.
Thanks.
And good luck at Bromont. I know Elisa's going up there.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to do, and hopefully I'll convince Elisa. I think you guys are not coming, right?
No.
You're not now. God, you're the worst.
Well,
All
I
right.
was going to come, but we have to get to Montana.
Yeah.
We also going to Devon.
Right. Why do you have to go to Devon?
Ronnie Beard is being inducted into the Hunter Hall of Fame.
You think that's more important than coming and supporting your daughter and your friend at Bromont?
Look, I would love to support y'all, but I also lost my school director at the school. So I have a huge VA inspection on that Friday, the 6th or 5th.
Right.
There's no.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. I lost you at excuses.
That's good. I will be there on the phone with y'all the whole way.
So what? I'm teasing you. What I was gonna say was, I'll try. I'm not great while I'm competing, but I will try to get some updates.
That'd be great. And then
Going.
if we would have come to Bromont, then we would have expected you at Rebecca. So
Right.
I kind of let you off the hook.
Perfect. I love Rebecca. I'm sorry I won't
I
be
know,
there for that.
but we would have made you come to support your friends.
Yes. Yeah, or your daughter,
Elisa's
or your
coming
daughter.
to Montana.
That's because she's your daughter, and you should be coming for her.
No, she's not.
She's not your daughter?
No, she's not coming to Montana.
Okay. All right. All right. So we just had badminton.
Yeah.
Ross Cantor wins that. Did you
Amazing.
guys watch it all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We
we-
watched it. I mean, it was a big, great day of cross country. I mean, it was 6.5 hours.
I know. So I was at Tryon that day, trying to watch it, out grazing horses, and my Wi-Fi is just terrible at Tryon. Like, not my Wi-Fi, but I'm good on the Wi-Fi there. But then when I get out like grazing horses, then I can't get it, and so it was. In the end, I just gave up, and we had a watch party. Could not watch all of it, so we watched the first probably 3 hours all the way through, and then started picking off like the
Well, that's not
ones
the
we
way you're
wanted to
supposed
watch.
to do it.
I
You're supposed
know.
to watch every single horse go.
Dude, I can't get through one 1 hour show anymore. I've turned into my father. I just sit on the couch, turn the TV on, and I fall asleep. So I was really proud of myself.
You and Andy, his dad,
I did.
friends.
I did 3
You are
hours
friends.
straight, and then I.
Okay, let's talk about the ones you did watch go.
Yeah.
and that you were impressed with.
Yeah.
Harry Mead has to be brought up.
That guy's incredible.
What an incredible rider, and to have you had the stats. 2 of the 4 or 2 of the 5.
He had 5-star horses between Kentucky and Badminton. He had 4 double clears.
On time and jumping.
Yes.
Amazing.
That's what double clear
And then
means.
thanks. But people out there might not know that.
Right, that's true.
I'm helping them out, John.
Yeah, good job. So I mean, it's incredible.
No, he was great. Now, when I watched Roscoe, they gave her 15 for a corner, which I knew she was in, but I knew she was in at the Olympics too.
Yep.
But thank goodness the 15 didn't hold.
Uh-huh.
I think Ollie also had a 15, but that didn't hold.
Right. That's the way they're doing it now. Is if it's a flag, you
They
get it.
automatically get it.
Yeah, you automatically get it.
I get it. I understand. I think it's just that feeling for the next 2 hours while
Yeah.
you're waiting for them to figure out
Yeah.
if you have or haven't. You have no way of, giving your input.
Right.
So. But overall, it was the driest badminton in a long time.
Yep.
Footing, they said, was great. They had to aerate. Who would know,
Right.
right?
I'm actually shocked they have an aerator. there.
Aerator.
Yeah.
And the track was pretty quick, but it still was hard to make time.
Yeah.
I really liked the course, actually.
It was fun to watch. I thought it was between badminton and Kentucky.
We had a really good
Yeah, it was
sport.
a good 2 weeks of
Sport.
eventing, for sure.
Now, I did watch NBC convert Kentucky on Sunday.
Yeah, they did like an hour.
They did two.
special 2-hour shows.
They did a 2-hour show.
Okay, awesome.
And it was
ESPN.
ESPN.
Yes,
But ESPN.
ESPN. Right. Okay.
But it was done very good.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah.
And in fact, you could have made national or worldwide network had you been in the booth for
Right.
the five-star.
Right.
Because they did not over voice.
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah. No, it was John
done-
and Sinead.
It was
Yep.
great.
Yep.
It was really, really good.
No, they did a great job.
So what else are you got on your board?
So-
John's got a board, everybody. If you can't see us looking at it,
Yeah, I
and
have to
you're
turn around this
listening,
way.
We've got
So-
a board so we don't forget stuff.
So Bicton is happening basically this coming weekend,
So
right?
Bicton is in.
England.
Very good. Some people don't know.
All right. Okay. I was like, is this a trick question?
So Bicton is the Nations Cup.
So for the U.S., we got Jenny Karras on
Summersby.
Summersby. My writing is terrible. I was like, did I
Mia
misspell it?
Farley on Karen O'Connor's Invictus.
Yep.
Cosby Green on Mighty Suspicious. That's not
No,
great.
that's
It's a great
highly,
horse.
highly suspicious.
Highly suspicious.
You said mighty.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I said
you did.
highly.
Let's go to the tape.
Look, go back to the tape. If I said mighty, I meant highly. Alex O'Neill, who's he? What's going on?
You killed me. All right.
What's going on with
O'Neill
Alex? It looks like mighty.
and Red Tail Penumbra.
I kind of think I said highly. Yeah, that's a homebred, isn't it?
Yes.
Come on the show.
Yes. Yes.
So Alex and
So I was on the phone today with Alex,
Yep.
texting him back and forth. I didn't call him. I was messaging him. And they are at Roy Fonseca's farm.
Say that 5 times.
Roy Fonseca, Roy Fonseca, Roy Fonseca, Roy Fonseca, Roy Fonseca.
That was very good.
Thank you. He is Brazilian, and I
We've
know
been
that's
to his
where
farm.
Leslie had taken a bunch of the teams last year, and he said it was great. So they're all there in training. They've got Karen Shooter as their chef, who is basically taken that on that role with Leslie, sort of a dual role. So she's over there as the chef for the team. Alex said the camaraderie is great. Everybody's getting along super. Karen came. I think she was actually there today and helping them and had been there, started
Well,
talking
he's
to
the
them.
only guy. No wonder it's fine.
Yeah, everything's
I
fine.
mean, all the girls are sweet.
What? I don't know. You know what? You're very controversial today.
I know it's fine.
It is
I'm just
mighty
saying,
controversial
There's nothing he could have go wrong when you got Jenny, Mia, and Cosby there.
because they're keeping everything organized for him.
All he's got to do is walk around
I think that's.
or limp around.
I think that's
How's
a-
his leg doing?
He looked pretty sound the last time I saw
Last time
him.
I saw him, that really hurt. So Alex got hurt last year.
Yeah.
A bad break. And look at him. He's already back up and made a Nations Cup.
I
His
know.
first one ever.
I know. I'm super proud of him.
I am too.
Good friend. Great
And
dude.
you didn't answer my question before. Isn't Red Tail? Is that
Yeah,
a
Red Tail
homebred?
Penumbra is homebred. Yes.
So that one's one they bred
Yes.
however many years ago.
Yes.
8, 9. It's the same age as Bodie. He's 10.
So not 8 or 9.
8, 9, or 10. I know it was in the same bracket going up.
This is such an informational show.
He was with that horse at Maryland the same year Briggs was there when we were thinking about going over to France. So they're in the same age bracket.
So 8, 9, or 10.
That was 8. So now they're 10.
Okay, perfect.
Everybody out there, send in your emails to rick@teamwallace.org and tell me how much you don't like John.
Yes.
Great.
That's fine. So we had Tryon as well, and that was really cool. So I was actually, funny enough, in the general store getting coffee Saturday morning, and I look up and there's Rob DeCino. And I said, Rob, what are you doing here? He said, we're here to watch our horse. So they had Boyd there on Cooley Nutcracker, which was Liz's ride.
Correct.
And so now Boyd has taken over that ride. So I went out, I was walking my track getting ready, and I happened to see Boyd go through the first combination, which was tough enough for the first combination. They had to jump like a cabin. You know, when you go across the first bridge, you had to run up, they jump a cabin, and then turn like 90 degrees, and then there's a big set of MIM rails, really tall upright rails down a hill, and he looked great. And so Boyd won it on Cooley Nutcracker, which is awesome.
And shout out to Liz. That is doing great. I heard in recovery and things are,
Yes.
so she's trying hard and doing her things that she needs to do.
Yeah, and I talked to Rob, and he said that he basically confirmed that like she is doing awesome. So
That's great news.
we're thinking of you, Liz.
But I did read an article that Boyd put out about Cooley Nutcracker. And he said, you know, it was a horrible thing that happened to Liz. And then I get the call, I'm going to get the horse. And he goes, yeah, I'm getting this horse. And Liz did all these great things with it. It went to the Olympics. And I'm going to get this horse. It's super. I want to do the best I can for Liz.
Sure.
And he said he got on that horse and he goes, "Oh no,
It's really
I
hard.
can't ride it."
Right.
So he said it was very humbling that it really showed Liz's expertise and ability to communicate with that horse and all of her horses, and that it took him. And I think he said the same thing for actually Annie's horse.
Right.
It took a while. It takes a while. You're not just going to get on and go out and win.
Right. I think the thing is, it's not a car.
Right.
Right. They are individuals, and you have to learn.
And they're probably going, "Who the heck are you, Boyd?"
Right. Yeah. Go from. I mean, not that Boyd's
A race car driver.
Yeah.
to
Not
a
that Boyd's
go-kart
like a
driver.
big giant guy, but it's a very different body type and person going
Sure.
from Liz
So-
to a big man.
But congratulations, because definitely deserved a win. And, cool on Rob and Chris Tessino being very supportive of Liz, and then having their horse get to Boyd, and then, for Liz winning the 4 long at Tryon.
Yep. Absolutely. And exciting for Boyd, another great horse.
He's
got
such a
all of
string.
them.
He's so deep in them.
Yeah.
Congratulations, buddy. Okay.
And Philip looked great there too.
Yep.
Watched him go around. It was a lot of nice horses there. So
Sure,
it was
yeah.
great. Tryon did a good job. A lot of rain and the ground held
Now,
up
I
really
do
well.
remember and I called you and said, "What's going on?" The 4 short had some trouble.
Yeah.
But then it kind of leveled out for the 4 long.
Well, I think
they
that-
had a different combination.
It was slightly different courses, or significantly different courses, but also, I mean, I think the thing is, anytime you have a long and a short, you're going to have the more qualified, more experienced horses
Sure.
in the long, and the greener horses in the
But
short.
even some qualified, strong 4 short horses were having trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be more intense, right? Because it's a shorter track, less
Was
galloping.
that Clayton Fredericks?
Yeah.
Of course.
The 4-star was
how
Clayton.
Did you feel about the 3-star? Who was that?
3-star was Beth Perkins.
Uh-huh.
She did a really good job. I will say the combinations were set a little quiet, all of them, sort of like what you would see in a show ring, and not open, which sometimes I think you can get them too open, but these were maybe just a little quiet, if I'm being critical. That said, I saw Beth and I told her I thought she did a great job, because in general...
Did you tell her that?
I did, because I thought in general, I thought the courses were very good. And it all
It's
rode
important
well.
for us to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I am nothing if not honest.
Well, I don't know
Like
about
you
that.
can't
That is-
pronounce things and say words you don't even know you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Jackass.
like that, but that's not what I meant.
I'm getting your T-shirt.
But anyway, they were good courses. Clayton's course, I didn't actually walk the whole 4-star track, but the stuff I did walk looked really good, and I think he's really focusing on the designing now, and is getting better and better at it. So
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Yeah, he's got Declan at home to ride the horses, and
Yeah.
I love Clayton. He's a cool guy, and my only complaint about Clayton's design, and I've told this to himself, I don't know how it was at Tryon, but I don't like going 5 yards and then jumping a jump. So hopefully he's gotten it further out.
Yeah, you did have a little bit more of a track because you started halfway down the hill.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you really had an option because you had to go down the hill and then wait for it to level and
good.
jump and then down the
I
hill.
just my thing is I like a little gallop before you get to the first one. That's just me.
Well, sometimes he gives you a very little gallop before you get to the first one.
Very little,
Yeah.
like 4 strides.
Yeah. The other thing is June 1st, you wanted to make sure you mentioned everybody.
I do. The Broussards at their big Rebecca Farm horse trials.
Yep.
In Kalispell, Montana.
Yep.
June 1st is the close date.
Done. I was stretching.
You're yawning.
I gave a little yawn. I'm
so
sorry.
I think they either, it closes on the 31st and then they announce it on the 1st. But it's very cool. I think it's $2 per mile for 4-star horses and $1 per mile for 3 and 2-star horses. We are going. We'll talk about it later in the show with Briggs. So we're excited. We talked about Bicton, the team. Let's talk about the elusive developing rider coach.
Yeah. So the rumor is it's Philip Surratt.
That's what I heard.
But interestingly, as of the last time I checked, there is no press release confirming it's Philip Surratt. So, I don't know. I don't know what that means.
My take and your take would be probably similar, is that perhaps they had this whole conversation and then he got the contract and said, "Oh, I don't like that. I'm not doing it."
Yeah, I don't know. What I suspect is they've agreed in principle.
Let's just say it like that.
I think what it is they've agreed in principle and they're working out the final details.
Well, they're taking a long time.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be announced May 1st.
Right. And here we are.
And they're going to the First Nations Cup without a developing rider coach.
Yeah.
Don't be looking at
I
your...
was looking at the date. It is May 19th as we record. That's what I was doing.
way past the first.
Yes. Like 18 days past.
But congratulations to all the team for Bicton. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, European team then. European Tour team.
Yes.
So
do we have that?
We can.
Okay.
If you'll pull it up. Actually, it's the 4 that are up there. Plus, I think there's another 4 or 5. Maybe 4. Maybe a total of 9. I don't know. What do you think, Briggs? Give a number.
Hold on, I had this earlier.
There's a couple extra. For sure.
Hold on. Okay, I got it.
7,
I got
there's
it.
7.
The European Development Tour is Jenny Karras on Summersby, Molly Duda on Disco Traveler,
That's right.
Olivia Dutton, Sea of
Yep.
Clouds, Mia Farley on Invictus,
Yep.
Cosby Green, Highly Suspicious, and Alexandra O'Neill on Red Tail Penumbra.
7.
Yep, there it is.
Very good.
There's even a nice little photo of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so before we finish this up, we do need to select our winner from last week's show.
Are you going to pull the emails?
I'm going to pull up the comments.
Which is the same thing. Well, I'll do the emails.
Okay, let's see. So
That
what was the
people
question?
actually emailed,
Do you
or
remember
they do the comments.
Do you remember the question?
Yes. What was Gus doing while Monica was having her interview with us?
Right.
Do you not remember that?
I do now.
Do you remember
Oh,
what?
good. Well.
Oh, there it is. There she is. That's Monica. Okay. So
Do you remember what Gus was doing?
Gus was hanging in the tub for an hour, which I was like, that's a great place to be. I got to meet Gus at Tryon. I'd never met Gus. He's quite the kid. He's super fun.
How about the husband?
I met him. I knew I met him because he said, hi, hello. How are you?
All right, so let's say this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people that participated in the comments. So we want to just compare that real quick to KT.
That's not the number of comments we had. That's the number of people who guessed, correct?
Yes, the
Right.
guest. But the comments usually have the guesses in it.
I think I have the winner
Okay, you name the winner.
because I like their screen name. This
Okay,
is done completely random. The winner, I think, should be Sappy868.
Sappy.
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 Sappy 868 says Gus was in the tub with all his toys.
That's it.
Sappy 868, you just send us a text message to Rick at
850-879-2649. I need your name, your address, and that would be it.
and then you'll get your I Love My Horse gift certificate.
$25.
$25, and you can go and buy all the stuff you want and get $25.
If you live in wherever you live and it's not where an I Love My Horse has a setup, you can call them, make an order, they'll ship it out to you, and that will go toward your order.
And they're great people. So do that.
Yep.
Why don't we...
Congratulations, by the way. That's
Yeah,
really
congrats.
good.
Awesome.
Thanks, I Love My Horse.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just started carrying a new line of men's shirts, too, which I just got one, and I'm going to test it out. I'll give a report here shortly.
That would be nice.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet looking.
Good.
All right, so let's take a break. We're going to get Briggs Surratt on set. He's super excited. He's got his pipe ready to go. So we'll be right back.
EquiBrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
EquiBrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order EquiBrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
If you're in the horse world, you need to have a good lawyer. Whatever the size of your business, having the best legal support is paramount. Rick and I use our friend and attorney, Yvonne Okrant. She's a partner at Hinshaw & Culberson LLP, which is a national law firm with over 450 attorneys. She's been at this for over 24 years and is licensed in Illinois, Florida, and Wisconsin. Yvonne can help you with contracts for horse purchases, sales and leases, as well as equine activity liability, releases, and training and boarding contracts for individuals and entities. If you need help with a syndicate, she's done over 350 contracts and operating agreements for sport horses in all 3 disciplines. Whatever your legal need is, Yvonne can assist you. Call her at 312-704-3080 or email at yokrant@hinshawlaw.com.
Hi, my name is Caroline Pamuccio, and I'm here with Jump for Joy. These are one of my key training techniques I use at home. They're extremely easy to use. They're very safe. And the thing I love about it is that they fall down. They have safety cups on them, which are extremely important to me to keep me and the horse safe. I love the fact that Jump for Joy has these type of brush on the jumps. It's a really easy way to teach my young horses how to jump through brush properly. There's not a better jump on the market.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454. I stopped in and I love my horse today, and I gotta tell you guys, it is such a cool store. They're over at WEC, right by the Grand Prix Arena. They have everything you could possibly need. Clothing, tack, accessories, whatever you need to find, they will be able to take care of you. Fun store to shop in. If you're like me and you event and you need some last minute things at the competition to save the day, they also have a mobile unit, and I Love My Horse will absolutely take care of you and get you everything you need to have a great competition. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're here with our one and only Briggs Surratt. Briggs, this has been the most fun because you're just like part of the whole thing anyway, so it really is just like we're just hanging out, which is what it's supposed to be.
That's what we're doing.
Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
This is the EquiBrew segment. Now, it is a little controversial, this EquiBrew segment, because there's a new label for EquiBrew, and Rick had some strong feelings on the new label. So tell us, Rick.
Well, if you look here on my right, this is the old EquiBrew, which we think is really cool.
Yes.
I like the pink and the light pink, and I think the label brings attention to you. And so we had a bunch of saddle pads, hoods, hoodies, or what are the ear bonnets, with that on. And we still can use this label. Andre and Heather, if you're listening over there in New Zealand, this is their new one, which they started launching for me a year before it went, and I didn't like it.
I love the new label. I think it's a better label.
So what they have here is
horses on the label.
Yes, but it's not the American Mustang. It's New Zealand. What they're called?
Brombies?
They're not
We
Brombies.
did this with Monica. We went over this, and now I don't remember what she told us.
But they support those horses. But any label that you get, the stuff inside is kombucha. So,
well, it's EquiBrew, really.
Yeah,
It's EquiBrew.
Kombucha.
So guys, this is really, really important for all of you listening. I know you're like, oh, it really does work. It's a live probiotic. It has microbes. I think we should have Andre on the show because he's like the engineer that we have.
Dave Voss.
You start listening to them talk,
And you're like, wow, I'm smarter.
I could not be that smart if I wanted to be.
Right.
He starts piping out the microbes and what they do and what's going on with them. So anyway, I can tell you that it is growing in the United States. Again, Hagyard and Equine, Park Equine, have it in their pharmacy to help horses when they are colicking. but it's a daily supplement. So if we have a colicky horse at home,
Right.
we shoot it up with 60 cc's of EquiBrew.
When you say that, you mean put it in their mouth.
Yes.
Right, just being clear.
Shoot it up in their mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a daily probiotic.
Keep going. I'm
guys.
just going to turn this fan off because it's making a funny noise.
It's a daily probiotic. It's $60 a bottle. You need 2 bottles a month. It allows all your other supplements to really work. Scott Adcock of NupaFeed swears by it because now of his NupaFeed that works on 80% of the horses out there, he says with EquiBrew, it's 100%. Get that.
That's impressive.
Anyway, EquiBrew, order it today. As John goes back away again.
I'm just trying to figure out our fan situation.
www.equibrewusa.com.
Awesome. Thank you, EquiBrew.
Yep.
So, Briggs, you're here. You're smoking your pipe.
I'm here. Yeah.
I like that. So, how's Couture doing? You had an awesome Kentucky. I know you had the little blip early, but really was a great cross-country round.
Yeah, it was really good.
So, she's going to Rebecca?
She's going to Rebecca.
So, what's the strategy to get from Kentucky 4 short to Rebecca 4 long? What are you doing?
A lot of training.
A lot of. Are you going to any events?
Yes.
Or are you going the Harry Mead route? No runs.
No, we're going to do a run at. We decided on what is it now called? Is it Bucart Farm?
Yes.
Is it still called Bucart?
I think it's Bucart now.
Okay.
It was Chat Hills.
It was Chat Hills, yeah.
Yes.
So Bucart, we're going to run the intermediate,
Right.
and that's going to be the end of June.
So that's like the first. They have 2 back-to-back. It's the first
So it's
weekend.
going to be the first one, yeah.
Right. And then do you come back here after that, or do you go straight up?
We come back, and then she's getting shipped out in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I'm more the scheduler.
Right. Okay.
Talk
So
about
Rick,
other
what's
stuff.
Briggs doing?
So we did and I want him to talk because he's the one that people. I'm going to go in and get the questions on our emails while y'all talk.
Yep.
So the plan was to have at least 2 4 shorts. Carolina didn't work out for us. We did Kentucky. To your point, she had a blip, but she was fantastic.
Yeah, she was great.
Show jump was great. Best dressage she's ever had.
Yep.
So the plan is to do 1 intermediate at Bucart. And I was very adamant about finding a shipper that could give her a box stall and could go straight through for 40 hours because we're going to get her there on the 12th of July.
So there'll be no stops, just multiple drivers, and just
Straight
get her there in a
So
box.
I have a family-owned transport that came through Bastion Schroeder through Equijet, got us Rainbow
A blue ribbon.
Blue Ribbon shippers, a lovely husband and wife team. They're going to pick her up on the 8th or 9th and then ship her straight up, and they will arrive on Saturday morning on the 12th.
So how does that work? Are they going to be the same people bringing her back then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they just hang out in Montana
Well,
for the week?
I asked her that question. So I said, you're going to be up there for a week, right?
Right.
She says, I think we'll probably they're at Glacier National Park. I mean,
Right.
there's a music festival going on.
Oh my God, have you done the Road to the Sky?
No.
Okay, finish your story and then we're talking about that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yep. So they will hang out. They'll go do something and look at attractions and whatever that might be. There's a lot to do up there. And then pick her up on Tuesday the 22nd and then ship her back home where we will be. We're flying up on the 11th. We have 2 Airbnbs because Ronnie Beard, who's getting inducted to the Hunter Hall of Fame, the USHJA Hunter Hall of Fame at Devon on the 28th, is coming in
Oh, super.
to stay with us and help Briggs. It's made a big difference.
Yeah.
And people have noticed.
Yeah, the
It's
show
making a
jumping
big
round at
difference.
Kentucky was really good.
So that's the plans. Now he can go through, I can tell you, being at Kentucky, he got a lot of attention on the bit, as he always does.
Yeah, so you're going to pull up the questions
I
while
will
Briggs
pull
and
up
I
the
talk.
questions. Y'all start talking about.
Okay.
So the whole idea came about was we had Rebecca Farm in our site, but we were trying to decide between Bremont or Rebecca, and then
Yep.
we had quite a long conversation with Ronnie, and very knowledgeable horseman.
Yep.
And he was like, Kentucky is a big event, even though it's a short, it's a big event.
Absolutely.
And so he says, I think it's the best idea is not rush, and settle down. We'll get some more training done, and then Rebecca Farm fits in the schedule perfectly.
Right.
So that's what we decided. And so now we got everything scheduled. And
So she'll have one run at Chat. So you have Kentucky, Buchart, Rebecca.
yeah.
Perfect.
And we just did a little schooling show at the local champions.
Right? No, they do a good job there.
Yeah, it was great. Really good.
They do a good job there. So what I was going to say to you is when you're out there, because I know you like because you're 85 years old on the inside, you like to go and like explore and learn about the local culture. At Glacier National Park, they have this road to the sky, which is this 2-lane road that takes you up along the side of this mountain to go up, and you drive up into the glaciers, basically, where they get enough elevation, there's still glaciers. And Jen and I went up there when we were there a few years ago with Caden, and I'm in this rental car, and you're driving along, and just off passenger side, it is like a complete sheer drop off. And I'm a little nervous about heights, and I'm driving up, and I'm getting more nervous, and I'm getting more nervous, and I'm getting more nervous, and finally I'm like, about halfway up, I said, Jen, I can't do it. I can't do it. Because I'm just like visualizing just turning the wheel and just driving off the cliff, like this is going to be terrible. So I had to do about an 18-point turn around, and drive back down. And Jen looked at me as I was driving back down, and now you're on the other side. You're on the side of the road away from the cliff.
And she's looking down.
Well, you have a lane of traffic between you, so it's better for all of us. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God. And she said to me, you do know this is how a lot of people feel before they go cross country, that sort of nervousness. And I said, I don't think I would event. I think I would quit if I was that nervous.
Oh, to be honest, if it was as you're describing, I would look up and be like, nope.
Yeah, good.
If-
don't need to do it.
If I was going to do it, I'll do it on my feet.
Yeah, that would be much better. But if you have a blowout on your tire or something, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Squirrel
so
runs
terrible.
out, and you go, oh shit.
So terrible. Yeah. All right, you got some questions?
I've got the first question. So this came from Delia Quinn.
Oh, Delia.
Delia Quinn.
And she's from Ireland.
She is.
And she's won a contest here, and gave all the treats to Couture.
That's correct.
Yeah.
She's a big Hottie fan.
Yeah.
So I must say also, so Hottie's Hottie is a take on Couture.
Yes.
Which is, but
Should I not call her? Are you wanting me to call her Hottie? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but her name is Couture to go off of her breeding, which Briggs can get into because people ask.
Right. It's Coeur de la
So
Briere,
it's
right?
Hottie, Haute, but it's in the fashion world they say hot,
Yeah.
but Elisa said hot, but wanted to be Hottie when she was born.
Right.
So we call her Hottie. So anyway, that being said, people spell it Hoty, Hottie,
Right.
whatever you want to do, Hattie.
Okay, so what's the question?
Oh my gosh. Here's the question from Delia.
Delia.
No, it's Delia. Delia.
I think you're wrong. But anyway, it's okay.
Hey, Miss Quinn, can you let us know?
Yeah, let us know, because I'd love it if
All
I
right.
was wrong again.
In Ireland, the UK, the top show jumping is 148 centimeters, who jump 130 to 140 are increasingly homebred. It might help the US listeners understand that small height doesn't mean any less powerful. Indeed, I suspect she's as powerful as any 168 centimeter Briggs has ever ridden. Have you ridden 168? Oh, she's talking about height. Love the show.
Okay. That's
you
not a
get that?
question.
Yeah, I know. So the question is, how do you feel to jump? How does she feel to jump? And does she ride like a horse? So 2 questions. How does she feel to jump? And does she jump like a horse?
I think, does she ride like a horse or jump like a horse?
She says jump.
Okay.
Oh, no, she does say ride.
Okay.
Ride like a horse.
That's mighty
Now, don't
good
put
of
your
you.
hand up there. You know,
I
know these answers.
To
Let's
be
not
honest,
wait for
I
it.
really never think about it.
No, but tell us about how she jumps.
She
Come
jumps.
on. You got to be a good show participant.
Yeah, well,
Well,
she
I'm
jumps.
gonna
She
help
jumps
you
great.
just ignore him.
She jumps great. Obviously, she's jumped around 4 stars, but she's very feisty. She wants to get there. So it's a balancing act of managing balance,
But
allowing
how
her
does she
and
feel when she jumps?
fantastic.
So when you first brought her up the levels, I think it was sort of as you were starting to go intermediate, I remember there was a period of time, correct me if I'm wrong, where you a little bit struggled with, do I add the stride down the line or do I let her keep moving forward on a horse stride? So where are you at on that now?
Whatever shows up.
That's untrue because you jump through the triple combinations, you jump through the doubles.
For show jumping?
Yes, for show jumping.
Show jumping, I have to, like, for certain combinations, have to get there.
Right. So in the longer lines you would add, but then you need to make sure you're on the right step.
Bending lines, I can keep her same stride and just go a little bit out this way and kind of make a fit.
Right. So like if you had a 9 stride line, let's say, that was, and I think if I recall in the 4 short, there was that line heading back towards the gate. I think it was 9 strides.
On a bending line.
On a bending line, you would have probably been on 10 on her.
I will.
Yes, but no.
No.
Okay.
So, so we have Ronnie Beard.
Yep.
Who is in here to help him with these kind of questions,
Yep.
right? So, Miss Quinn, thank you so much for your questions. I think they will start coming out as he talks more about it. Ronnie says you're never going to make the time in show jump.
Right.
Because she has a pony stride.
Right.
So if you have bending lines, you can't opt to take the outside in the extra stride. You need to come on the inside line and make it less of a stride.
Okay.
So that you can start.
So you would make the line more direct to get the number.
Yeah, so it's something that I've now.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, it's a little bit. It's been a little bit tricky, especially for show jumping, because she doesn't have the largest stride.
Yep.
And I like to try to give myself time, but that ends up causing more problems. So it's just a little bit tricky, like for the combinations, like the triples, and I have to try to make her bigger without getting her too high in the air, making the stride shorter.
Right. No, it makes sense. What's our next question?
So I will get to that while you'll talk more, but take this question on. So the other thing that Ronnie feels he needs to do is shorten his lines coming to any jump. So if you're going around a turn, and instead of going way out, to make the turn
you have to be
back
on the inside line everywhere to get the time.
Well, if it's a 90-degree turn, he wants him to be 4 strides out instead of 7.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense because she's going to take more strides. They're going to be shorter strides. She's going to be slower, so you have to ride the inside track everywhere.
And I'll leave this with you two to discuss while I find the next question.
Perfect.
She doesn't want to touch a rail.
No,
Right.
She does not.
She does not
No, you can see
want
that.
to touch a rail. So go with that.
So all that stuff we're working on, getting the tighter lines and just really just allowing her to use herself as much as she can, and to be a little bit tricky. So we were like this past weekend, he was here and we're working on it, and he basically wanted me just to whip in there, just go challenge yourself and the horse, allow the turn to balance her, allow the turn for her to see the stride. So everything is about allowing the horse to see where they want to take off.
Right.
So it's all, and you keep challenging, so you get tighter line, softer rein. Just be like,
let the jump do the work for you.
Like here it is. And he has tons of experience, but one he talks about a lot is he had a horse named Valinsky,
right,
who went to the Olympics in Rio with an Australian rider. I forget Matt Williams or something.
Matt Williams.
It was a small horse, but it had it was like 15-2, 15-3, but it actually had a giant step. But anyways, he plays with lines. He doesn't like you taking all this time, because he goes, all that time is going to mess you up. So everything is getting the horse to listen more, getting the horse to just nip and tuck. And
sure, and it sounds like wanting you to react.
Yeah.
Right?
Or act, not react.
Right.
And it's interesting it's Diane Grod. I want to send a special thanks out to her, who started working with Briggs and then introduced us to Ronnie. He doesn't believe in jumping show courses at home, ever.
Right. So it's all about gymnastic stuff, shape stuff.
We have a vertical and an oxer.
A little bit.
And depending on what the lesson plan is for that day, like before we did the local champions, he had the problem that she had at Kentucky. He built that triple,
right?
So that, and he worked all the horses, young horses, everybody, because he felt it was his deficit, not the ponies.
Right. Okay.
So it's the way he managed to ride that triple, the way it was set. he wanted to teach him how to ride that triple the way you're supposed to ride it so that you can get the horse. He says the answer's at A. If you mess up A,
Sure.
we all know this.
Yeah.
B and C, you might get lucky and get out of it, but typically if you mess up A, you're going to have trouble on B or C.
Right.
So that was that lesson plan. We went to the local champions, and he had an in and out. And he goes, next lesson plan, in and outs,
Right.
doubles. He reminds me a little, him and George are very good, George
Morris.
Morris are very close friends. Some of their fluctuations
Right.
in talking,
It's the same.
but totally opposite of George.
Right.
Very, sort of reminds me of David a little bit.
Very
Dave-
low pressure.
Yeah.
Right. Zen.
Yeah.
Come
Right.
again.
We hooked him, and y'all can start talking when you get I'm going to read the questions, but we introduced him to earpods.
Right.
Loved it.
Really?
Well, he's
I've never
so
used
soft
these.
spoken, so he's
I've
like,
never used these before.
Oh, so he talked to you through them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
The whole time. So he doesn't say much, but he does say what you understand. And by the way, everybody, Ronnie Beard will be here during the summer, and I'm telling you, especially event riders, John, you should come over.
Yeah.
I can't believe the transformation in the horses, the young ones.
That's awesome.
Within, he goes, that will change. They look like, I was like, that was awful, Briggs. And it's like, it will change.
goes-
and within 10 minutes, it all changes.
That's amazing.
So,
Yeah.
here's
All right,
the
next
next question. Pam English,
Yes.
big follower.
Yes.
Thank you, Pam. So, I would like to know how Briggs started riding and eventing.
I first truly sat on a horse. I say truly because you did little pony rides at fairs or whatever.
Yeah.
On vacation in Orlando at the Hyatt Resort at Disney, and they had trail rides, and so my mother loved horses and stuff, and I was kind of interested. So like, sure, I'll do it. And so we went there and got on the horse, and I was like, well, this is cool. And the first time I got on, horse was slow, and so one of the guys was like, well, just trot a little bit. So I bopped around and trotted, and I was like, oh, this is kind of awesome. And we finished up the ride. It was for super beginners, so and so it was like we did it again, and I was like, well, I want the same horse because it was awesome. So
Right.
a little bit of connection there, and did it again. And so after that little couple trail rides, I was like, I want to learn how to ride.
Right.
And so
So you trained that horse up in 2 rides is what I'm getting
Yeah.
out of this.
right.
Where did you go? And well, tell us where you went to start riding, and then we'll take a break and come back.
So I went to a local farm. It was probably about 25, 30 minutes from our house in a small town called Lloyd.
Right.
And the name of the farm
Was Cavallo Farms.
and the name of your trainers.
Oh, thank you, Rick.
I know. I'm trying to help you out. We're going.
Are you going to let me
double-
speak, or are you just going to keep like telling me what to say?
Go.
Yeah.
Whatever. That doesn't mean anything.
We'll get rid of him in the next segment. Don't worry.
The trainers, there's 2 trainers. There's Amy Center and Janet Cawley, and 100 jumper riders, and that is nice big farm, tons of acreage, and so they brought me up. First instructor was Lakey Love.
Oh, I love Lakey.
Lakey was a cool.
Hold the love button in your heart. We'll come
and
back.
thoughts to Lakey. She's going through some health issues now.
I know.
But so they had tons of acres. Taught me how to ride and everything. And then on the days you didn't have a lesson, I was out in the fields galloping around.
Just jumping on him and having fun.
Yeah, just
That's
galloping
awesome.
around. They had logs, so you just kind of, and makes sense moving forward. So that's
Keep going. Don't let him distract you.
he
distracts you.
He does.
Yeah, I know.
So that's how I started riding. And what was the other part of the question?
Well, that's it.
That's
for
it.
now.
That's how
We're
you
gonna-
started riding. So let's take a break. Thank you to EquiBrew for sponsoring this segment. Like we said, great live probiotic. I use it on all of my horses. So even with the new label, which I think is beautiful, we still love EquiBrew. So thank you for that. We're going to take a break, guys. We'll be right back with more from Briggs. I also will say I got some stats from EquiRatings. We're going to go over their little report on Briggs and all his horses. We'll be right back.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Another thing I love about Jump for Joy is that the jumps are so easy to move. It takes me and one other person to make a whole new cross-country questions, no tractors needed. I've got a lot of different sort of questions I've been able to design with these jumps. Set up some really difficult angled hedges, bank out the water to an angled hedge, and have these really nice skinnies. And another great thing is they have these amazing flags, so the horses always understand the jump between the flags.
All right, so we're here with Sally Spickard, and I wanted to mention the new podcast, Go Eventing. Sally, it is going to be great.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. It's going to have bi-weekly episodes. We're going to have about 20 episodes for you in 2025. So we're very excited to have kicked this thing off and would love for everybody to take a listen. So I think we'll all do a lot of the same things, but I think more podcasts in the eventing space especially is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I really like the idea. And Will Faudree is the first guest that you're having. What a great first guest to have.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everybody out there need to watch or listen to your show on all the podcast outlets.
Yep.
And you can go to Eventing Nation's
EventingNation.podbean.com is the main podcast page. So you can listen to it there or on your favorite podcast platform.
Go Eventing.
Go Eventing.
Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com. Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com.
All right.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are still in the Horse Trailer Pros studios with the one and only Briggs Surratt, the wonderful pony rider of the Super Pony Couture, aka Hottie. John, take it away.
Hold on, my phone is having a stroke. Okay, so I got all kinds of stuff from our buddy Derm over at EquiRatings, and I thought, honestly, what he wrote out was pretty amazing, just the stuff that I learned about you and your horses here. So I'm going to kind of read through it, but as we go, if we want to stop, Briggs, if you'd like to stop.
I'm just going to listen.
Here we go. I'm going to find things out about
Briggs
myself.
Surratt has had 73 international appearances across 22 different venues, starting, do you know what the first horse you ever rode FEI is?
Hat trick.
Hat trick. Do you know where?
Poplar
Place.
Yeah.
Poplar Place, that's
I
right.
love Poplar.
One of your highest rated results came in your third ever international start with Hat Trick at the same venue, Poplar Place, where you finished 7th in the 2-star short. Your international horses were, as we talked about, Hat Trick, Ferris.
It would be Brightwater.
Yep.
Then Ultimate Victory.
Yep.
And then Couture.
Yep. Good old Hottie.
And Booming Byron or
Yeah, that's
Bull Runner.
right. Byron, which I just learned this, guys. This is pretty cool. I didn't know this. I just thought Booming. I always thought it was Booming Boudron, but it's Booming, as he says here in. And it's hard because when they're Irish, they have their accent as well. But it says Boo Raw N. So B-O-U space Raw space N. So Bouron.
Which means Irish
which
drum.
is an Irish drum that you hold in your hand. And there's one other that you have FEI. Ingomar.
Oh yeah, forgot about that
Dingo. Okay, so Couture
Sorry,
is
Dingo.
responsible for 30 of your 73 international starts.
one. Yeah,
Okay? Your highest rated result together was, do you know where?
I was 4th at Terra Nova.
But your highest rated. So here's the thing that I learned. Your
Tell me about rating.
HPR is your high performance rating. It tracks things like quality of the field, winning margins, etc.
Oh, wow.
See, I wouldn't
Okay.
have that, so they knew. They would.
Right.
Kentucky 2024.
Your highest rated result was actually at Bucart Farm, then Chat Hills in 2020, when you were second in the 2 short.
Oh.
That was your highest because that was, although it's
It just
2-star,
says- it's
Yeah,
just doing
yeah,
FEI.
for the level.
Yeah.
Right? Your best dressage test came at Carolina in the 3-star in 2021, where you got a 33.9, and you finished in the top 20 there. And this we hit on a little earlier with Rick Briggs, your 35.5 at Kentucky this year was amongst your top 3 international dressage tests of your entire career. So good timing on that.
Yeah.
Your first 4 short was,
4 short was Tryon, the fork.
it says here your first 4 short was at maybe not with her, it says
Great Meadows.
Great Meadow in
But-
2023.
He withdrew.
And then, that's fine, then you went on to Tryon, where you finished top 15 in that 4 short. And the 4 short venues you've been to are Aiken, Carolina, and Lexington, when obviously Great Meadow. So that's interesting. You were 4th at Terra Nova in this year, but he said this was super interesting to him. One of your highest rated results was actually your 27th place finish in Carolina in 2024 because of the quality of the field that you were competing against and the difficulty of that course.
That course was hard.
Yeah, so he said actually that was one of your, if not the, certainly one of the highest rated results. And I think that's interesting, right? Because you talk about, like we were talking about my horses at Tryon. You talk about all the stuff and you're like, oh, well, I won at this event, but actually when you calculate in their HPR and it brings in difficulty of the track and the quality of the field you're competing against, sometimes, like in this case, a 27th place finish at Carolina in the 4 short was more impressive than a better placing someplace else.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does, right?
So how's the HPR for the Kentucky 2024?
I don't know. We can find
Come
out.
on, Darm. Darm.
So what is ELO and what is HPR? I can read that if you want, but I don't know if we want to get into that.
Why? It's fun. People don't know.
So ELO is a rating system that tracks how strong a horse's results are over time, kind of like a world ranking, but based on performance quality, not just placings. Big results in tough fields send your ELO up faster, and smaller wins or mistakes in easier company might hold you steady or make you knock down more quickly. It's how you measure long-term success, or he calls it class. Your HPR is your high performance rating. That's different. It tells us how good that one result was. Think of it like a wow score for a single performance. The higher the number, the better the round. It looks at things like the field strength, so the other horses you're competing against and horses and riders, the difficulty of the course, and how well the horse delivered across the board. Put simply, ELO tells you how good the horse is. HPR tells you how good the day is. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's fascinating. They figured out how to get an algorithm to
Yeah.
plug that all in.
So on his 4 short career, he's not attempted a 4 long yet.
Right?
He's done 6,
6, yeah.
but was Carolina the 7th.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned Great Meadows, and the reason it wasn't on the venue, and you said that's weird, is
Right.
because he didn't start cross country.
Right.
Everything that he there, and where else did you Stable View? He got CR'd, so he
Right.
didn't start in cross country there.
Right.
So of the 7 4-stars that he has started in cross country, he has had 5 4-stars with 0 jump penalties, 1 4-star with 20,
Right.
and 1 4-star with the fall.
Right.
And those were in 2025.
Right.
So in 2024, she had a 100% completion rate at 0 jump in the 4-star. And the reason I'm saying this before y'all take back over is the questioning of that pony's integrity and ability to be at this level.
Right.
She is by far qualified and able to compete. In fact, she's not even tapping in.
Well, I think so, to that point, and
Yeah.
I know you had said at the end of Kentucky, when you finished cross country, I remember you said to Rick, like, I needed that
Yeah,
good
yeah.
round, right? I will be honest with you and say I was a little worried going into Kentucky, not because I didn't think you were capable, but because you didn't have the lead up to Kentucky
Yeah,
that you wanted.
I was a little worried about that too. Lucinda was actually really good. She goes, "Don't throw out Kentucky yet. Just keep at it. Keep at it. You have a horse. You need to go. You have a horse. You need to go." So that's what I did.
Right. And I think that kudos to you because you went out there and had a great round. But for me, the people that I spoke to who questioned Kentucky this year for you,
Yeah.
it wasn't, are you capable? Is the pony capable? It was, are they on the right form to go? And you obviously, I mean, I think you could argue and say, no, you weren't on the form you wanted to be on.
Yeah.
Right?
So-
but you went well and you got it done. You had a great day.
I had to kick myself in the ass and be like, tell myself to shut up and just
Right. Tune it out.
Get on with it. Yeah.
So I'll inject. So Carolina happens. It was at fence 4. He was devastated.
Yep.
Yeah, he felt he rode wrong to the jump. He gave her the wrong line. He felt like there was something a little bit off in both of their things. And he got finished. He said, "I'm not doing Kentucky." I was like, "Whoa, we got 4 weeks.
Right.
We got some time." So we would not have gone to Kentucky had she not done the intermediate at Rocking Horse
Yep.
and jumped around brilliantly.
But I think, and the point I'm making here is, at the end of the day, you're the one who has to make the decision.
Yeah.
You made the decision, but going out there, no matter how much you tell yourself like it's going to be great, I'm ready to go, it is nerve-wracking and had to be as nerve-wracking, I would think, as the first time you go there a year ago, because the first time you go there a year ago, you're probably nervous because this is your first time at Kentucky. This year, you're nervous because I would thinking, well, it hasn't exactly been the lead-up I want.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
I was going to say I was nervous, but I really channeled my emotions. And I've been lucky enough to be able to have trained with some pretty good
Yeah.
trainers. So Karen O'Connor told me once, I was going into the dressage ring at Maryland, this is not the time to be nervous. So I just kept telling myself that because it's true.
Right.
There's nerves or have a place, but there's also a time where you got to be like,
Got to do the job.
time to just go do it.
Right. So, part of the uniqueness of you and Hottie, obviously one is that she's a pony. But the other thing is, and I tease you about it, you walk your own path with this horse with all of your horses, but with the equipment that you choose to use. Like right down to the boots you wear, to the saddle you ride in, to the bit. So
Yeah.
tell me about this bit. We've talked about it a little, but explain to me and the people listening, like, what is the story? Why do you have this gigantic ring bit?
So we got to backtrack a little bit. I started riding in a Dexter ring bit,
Right.
which is a racing bit. It helps with horses that lug or bear down on you. At the end of the day, it's not allowed in competition for cross country. It is for show jumping, but at home it's still a great training bit because you get the use of the bottom of the jaw. So it teaches the horse to follow your hand.
Okay.
So like in training in flat work, or you need to go for a gallop, and you don't want to use your cross country bit, you can put in a Dexter bit and you're going to get a good gallop, and it's actually going to teach a horse, oh, I can't lug on you, I can't kind of shift my jaw this way, and you don't have to tighten all the mouth up. And so I started there, and I customized my own bit to make it FEI legal. That lasted for, I think, eight FEI competitions until it didn't, and I almost got a yellow card for yelling at a
We've all been there.
ground jury.
I mean, it usually doesn't go over well, so yeah.
Luckily, we both were wrong. So, So it ended up being lenient on me. And then I was trying to figure out, I wrote in a Dr. Bristol, and that kind of really, that helped, but it still is just strong, and I really had to just bear down and hold. So then Dougie Handem told me, he's like, he has a friend up in Pennsylvania who was, back in the day, his horse, Bert wanted it on the team, but didn't want him, but they wanted the horse, and that's how the way it was. But anyways,
Bert who?
Bert and Timothy.
Yep.
And anyways, he rides all his...
Bert.
Bert, yeah, on a personal basis.
Right.
But anyways, he rides all his horses in a big ring snaffle. And he
Right.
got the idea from Kathy Kushner, who rode Untouchable in 1968 at the Olympics in a big ring snaffle.
Right. Just quick side note, when you get a bit with that big a ring, you got to have a really short cheek piece, right?
Yeah, I get pony cheek pieces.
Okay.
And then make sure you have like a...
But you have a pony, so what do you get for a pony for pony cheek pieces? Do they make cob pony cheek pieces?
the pony bridle
Or
actually...
you just wire it onto the...
She's kind of like...
She's cob.
She's in
not
between
pony.
a cob and a pony, so the top hole on a pony bridle works.
Okay.
And then on a normal size, on like a normal thoroughbred, I buy a pony cheek piece, and it's like I got like 3 holes left. So,
Okay.
So
Okay.
you just
So you do
balance
need
out.
a
yeah,
shorter
yeah,
cheek.
you need a shorter one. So anyway, so I was like, worth a try. I found an old one on eBay, and I was like, well, this is quite interesting. And then so things came forward, and then I started talking with Jimmy Paxton. That's the huntsman up in River something Foxhounds. But anyways, he started buying bits from me, sitting me down, and he's like, well, the next thing you got to do is you got to get loop end racing reins.
Right.
So there's no buckle. He kept saying the buckle takes away from the effectiveness of the bit.
Yep.
So I already rode in racing reins, but I needed a big old rein to have the leverage.
They do make them in not racing width, too.
I use those for dressage.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Oh, my God.
So anyway,
It just can't be normal.
So that's kind of how it started, and
But tell them what Jimmy Paxton does for you, right? You find the mouthpieces.
Yeah, so I was like, I tried a snaffle, worked, didn't work on cross country, so I said, I need a Dr. Bristol. He sent me a French link. And so he kept saying it was a Dr. Bristol. I was like, Jimmy, it's a French link.
Right.
Because it's not tilted. But anyways, that was the bit I've used at
The French link.
the French link starting in 2024 for cross country.
Okay. Did you try to convince yourself it was a Dr. Bristol when you used it?
No, because it worked.
Okay, perfect.
And
people want to know why it works.
why it works?
Leverage.
Yeah, there's a leverage. There's when you go to feel the rein, it's not immediate, and it's actually there's enough movement with the loose ring, especially the bigger ring, that they have a harder time leaning on it.
So explain to me the difference in action because part of the reason that leverage works is because you have the top of the bit quite high,
The mouthpiece, and then
there's an action to it.
Yeah.
So why is that different than just an old-fashioned 3-ring?
I don't think it's as
Soft.
I don't as soft, or I hate to use the word severe, but it's the 3-ring, it's a whoop.
Right. So you get a lot of
It's a
action
whoop,
back and then a
it's-
lot of drop out.
And a lot of drop out. It's still a snaffle. So
Yes.
you still get this snaffle action, but when you soften and feel, it's a little bit more fluid.
Forgiving.
Can you ride your dressage test in a big ring bit like
There
that?
is no rules. I ride in a 3-inch for dressage, not to be so
Obnoxious.
loud. Yeah.
Right. That's shocking, actually.
Well,
coming from you.
I didn't want to push the limits.
Right.
I've done that before.
Yeah, you have.
So yeah, it worked, and I got all different types of mouthpieces. I got my French link. I got 3 different types of French links. I have a plain snaffle, slow twist. I got 3 pieces, like the round bit. I got
Waterford mouthpiece, right?
cherry roller Waterford.
Or as Lucinda says, the bubbly bit.
Yeah, the bubbly bit.
Right.
And he sends them off to get the big rings put
So
on.
yeah,
So you send him a bit, and then he manufactures the big ring
so
onto it.
The bits I got from Jimmy were made by Abby in Abby England bits, which aren't the most reliable on timing for getting bits made.
Right.
So I get my bits made through a custom bit maker or tack maker in Colorado named EquiSport. It's like EQUU-sport.com.
So how, let me rephrase this. That's not the guy who made you the bit that you had the issue with.
We met the bit.
No. Not the walrus bit. The one that you were riding and it popped loose.
Oh, he did that himself.
You built that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be a bit maker.
That's when he decided that he needed to go to a professional.
Yeah. Well,
Where was that?
Ocala.
It was on Booming Boudron.
Yeah.
No, Booming Boo-Ron.
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 We still, Booming's still going. He's doing great.
Good.
Yeah. Luckily, I was galloping. I was like, something's wrong. I thought the cheek piece broke, and so I was keep going around. As like it kept getting stronger. I was like, what is going on? I thought cheek piece broke. I was like, lucky I had the rubber bit holder. Just holding the bit up in his mouth.
Right.
And I finish, and I get off. I was like, no, the ring broke, but I had the racing reins, so it was holding on to the
Thank goodness for the racing reins.
broken bit.
Right.
And then the rubber bit holder was just helping it all stay in place. I was like, well, I learned a lesson here.
Yeah, don't make your own bits. That's a good lesson to know.
So yeah,
Did you get rid of the welder then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go through Brad, and it's Brad Goldstein. He's the owner of that company, and he made bits for Kathy Kushner. So he was super excited that I wanted these 5-inch ring snaffles.
And that's what he makes, all kinds of bits. It's not just big.
Yeah,
rings.
like he will take, he'll take a trussed bit, and you want it on a different full cheek or D or whatever, and you got different things that are kind of hard to get, and he kind of has them, and he filters through them, and so he's been around for.
And
a
I
while.
think for what happened at Kentucky, and then somebody took her picture, cut Briggs out, and it was her picture with the bit, and it started this whole question. What do y'all think about this 5-inch ring bit?
Right.
I think it's up to 600 comments at this point. Mm-hmm. And we started interacting and asking questions, and that's sort of where we got some questions answered. And my interjection to him is, and for people in our sport, and I think David, I think you would say this, I think Leslie Law, we need to be a student of the history of our sport.
Yeah, those guys are.
Definitely.
Yes.
And if you think about it, you can learn a lot. And that's why I so admire him, because he can rattle up this stuff from Kathy Kushner and all this stuff. I'm like, what?
Right.
Truly digs into it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely a historian of the sport, which is incredibly cool. Like I am, I love horse racing because it is just horse stuff. I just want to ingest all of it that I can.
Shredding.
I don't love horse racing at all.
It's so bad.
I don't not like it. I just don't.
Who won the Preakness?
No idea.
Journalism.
I don't care.
Journalism.
That is journalism. You're right, but I still don't care.
Well, the horses in the race were related to one of our thoroughbreds, which is by Pioneer of the Nile. So it's kind of cool.
It's not. I shouldn't say I don't care.
I know, because these are thoroughbreds that make our sport great.
I know. It just isn't.
You don't even watch the Grand National?
I walked the course at the Grand National.
Yeah, no, that jealous, but do you watch it?
It is so cool. It is
so
cool.
Do you watch it?
I don't watch it live, no.
You don't wake
up. But I've watched it.
10 o'clock, TVG, when it airs, you can watch it.
When it's soon, isn't it?
It's already happened.
All right, there you go. So I didn't watch it
You
this
know
year
who
either.
won?
No, not a clue.
Willie Mullins' son. It was a father-son duo.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think what y'all should touch on, because I think you're doing really great together.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
His saddle, his boots, and as we come back into the last segment, because we still have a minute or so.
This is the last segment.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
We'll just keep going. We won't worry about that. We only have a minute left.
But it's fine.
Well,
this is us.
Let's talk about his saddle.
Have you done this show before?
Yeah. his saddle. Ask him about the rest of his tack, and then get into the breeding of the horse because
He's
it's really
very,
important.
very bossy. Have you noticed this about Rick?
I just don't want you to
Believe me,
miss
I
out
live
on
with him.
anything. I do help with all the I don't know things that get made.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so
my
why do you
manager.
ride in saddles from 1972?
I've done that. One of the stirrups bars broke.
Right.
Mine are from the 90s.
Okay, so what do you ride in?
I ride in for show jumping, Airmaid Steinkraus.
Right.
I have 5 saddles, so I can
5 of those saddles.
5 of those saddles. So each horse has their own saddle.
Right.
Ones that fit. I got different tree sizes. So like the thoroughbreds go in a narrower one.
Sure.
Hottie's a little wider. She has a little bit wider tree, and I don't have to overuse them. So I got 5 of those, and then I have
Where do you find them?
eBay.
eBay.
Lots off eBay. There's some in like tack stores like Aiken Tack Exchange and Middleburg Tack Exchange, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then my cross country saddles are the Crosby Bruce Davidson.
Yep.
So I got
So all very flat, close contact saddles.
yeah, the very flat close. The Bruce Davidson saddle has the way it's built. The sweat flap is not stitched on top of the front panel. It's stitched in the middle, so it's a little integrated. So you have a little bit of something to hook your leg behind.
Right. Okay.
So it's not really a block, but it's kind of a block.
The block would be like what would normally be just the padding at the front
Yeah,
of the saddle.
exactly.
Right. Okay.
I got 4 of those. 2 are a 16 and a half, and 2 are 17.
So the 17 is cross country.
No, so first saddle I got was a 17-inch. That's
Right.
what I ride on Hottie.
Okay.
That's what I've always used, and it fits her great. So I've never had the courage to be like, I'll just put her in a smaller one, which would fit. Because I just decided I'll stick with what I've been using.
Sure.
But the 16 and a half, I find it very odd. I've learned that all the saddles I've been riding in the past, I've always been too big. They're 18-inch and they're
Yes.
spread,
That's a very common thing.
spread on the back of the horse where you're kind of getting over the lower back and stuff. So started finding, actually it was phone call. Lucinda was fascinated by the saddles I was riding in now. And she called Bruce. Bruce said he rode in the 16 and a half. And I was like, well, he's taller than me. So why am I riding in a 17 and a half, 18-inch
Right.
saddle?
Right.
Got the small saddles.
It's probably your booty.
Yeah,
That's why.
I got a big butt. But anyways, I realized my whole life I've always sat on the twist of the saddle.
Interesting.
Now I'm actually a little bit more on the seat, so there's a little bit of a
Right? Because
balance.
that makes sense. And I will say that's so much more comfortable. Like when I ride in the girls' saddles, you sit further back in the seat. It is much more comfortable,
yeah.
for sure.
And so I started collecting,
Right.
and then but I have a lot of freedom. I could be like, some thoroughbreds came in a little bit skinny, and now they're bulking up. So then I can just go. They just need a little bit more because they've filled in with muscle. And,
Right. Right.
So that's where the saddle started, and
so
I'm a little bit thicker in the legs than Rick is, and so having a saddle with no padding or blocks, my legs aren't pushed off the horse.
but that makes sense because you're so muscular. So take me then, because this is the thing that we've actually talked about, and I'm still debating
You should.
the boots.
Love the boots.
I know they're really cool. So tell me about these boots.
It's
Overgirth,
Oh my God,
pommel pad.
you are the worst.
You got to go. Did people ask?
okay.
Why do you wear an overgirth?
Okay,
Well,
why do you wear an overgirth? I actually
backtrack-
think we should still wear overgirths. I don't know why we don't.
So I use an overgirth. One, you get the extra security of knowing if
Something goes
billet
wrong.
breaks or whatever, buckle on your girth, whatever.
Yeah.
But it also, especially with these older saddles that are super, I think there's better leather now. Better leather with those saddles and the newer saddles. They get super soft. They'll fold up a little bit underneath your leg.
Yep.
So it keeps them.
That actually makes sense. Plus, it's old, and you like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
thanks.
Yes.
Appreciate it. That was directed right at me.
It wasn't.
I felt it dart right at me.
It was not, but actually, that's a convenient part of that. That's awesome.
And then the last part of the saddles is the pommel pads.
The pommel pads.
You have an aunt that makes your pommel pads.
My aunt makes my pommel pads.
She was going to make me one, but I was like, I probably won't use the pommel pad.
I just put another order in for another one,
Right.
which she loves. But so saddle designs, I mean, saddles, doesn't matter what saddle you use, they're not perfect.
Right.
There's going to, since we girth up, and it's typically on the front part of the saddle, just behind the pommel. That's where the
Yep.
that's basically where you sit. You're going to have some depression on the pommel area, so you add a pommel pad to balance that out. And because you don't always need so much behind, sometimes you do, depending on how the horse is built.
If you do, then you get a lollipop pad. Have you ever seen one of those?
Oh yes,
Of course
we
you
don't
do.
have one.
I mean, you know.
It was like a key.
It goes
It
down
went
the-
down through
it
the
goes down
cantle
the-
and then bloop, just came out the back like a keyhole.
One of the school horses I rode in the beginning.
I had a really fancy one
needed
that was like,
because he was like,
right, you always had the foam ones, and then I had one that was foam, but then it was coated with plastic like a life vest. I thought I
You
was
walked around like it.
I thought I was
Little Miss
so
Bucky.
cool. Yeah, I thought it was so cool. All right, so on to the boots.
yeah, onto the boots. So,
You ride in these jockey boots, which were a little bit of an issue because they didn't have a heel, but now you put heels on them.
well, so I started out when I first, watch a lot of racing, and and Bruce Davison and all the legends, they rode in jockey boots because they had to worry about weight.
Yes.
Because it was a minimum of 165 pounds for cross country.
Right.
So
Trying to shed as many pounds as you can. It's why I ride in jockey stirrups. I get that.
yeah, and so Bruce he rode his foot home in stirrup, which I found I like because
Because it's old.
on a cold horse that was hat trick, I was sitting there at Poplar. I was like, come on, he was kicking him. I kept losing my stirrup, so I would kick him. It would slide out, put the foot back, and I was tired of it. So I started
Have you thought about training your horses to be better to your leg?
I tried. I tried on that one. And so ended up, and that kind of fixed the issue. And Bruce did in racing, and so I got inspired. It's like, I'll go buy these cheap Clarino boots.
Right.
And so I got those and came with like a heel.
Yeah, it was so tiny.
Itty bitty. So I was like, there's a heel rule for FEI. So I was like, well, I'll just go to Cobbler here in Ocala.
Yep.
And they put on the here.
Horse
So-
country boot repair.
Yes.
Yes.
They're great.
They are awesome.
And so they did it, and so I used those and had one horse trials where it was pouring down rain. I was on Bodie, booming Byron or broke, however you say it.
It's your horse. Say it how you want.
I go with Boudron. And riding in one of these new saddles,
Right.
and you clean it with the oil, and it just soaks it up, and then it was leaching all this
Right.
oil out of the saddle. So I'm sitting there in the warm up, and my legs keeps going slip. I was like, oh God, slip. I was like, this is really bad. And I got bracing more. I was like, this is terrible. Lightning hits. I'm like, oh, thank God. So I fly up to the barn. I was like, pull out my leather boots I use for dressage, and I was like, I need to change. So I ordered some nice leather boots from England.
Right.
And
And where are they from again?
they're
What's the name of the company?
Classic Boots, UK.
Right. Yeah,
They're made
okay.
in Yorkshire.
Right.
And it's all
They're beautiful.
Yeah, no, they're cool looking boots.
it's what all the top steeplechase riders in England use. And I was like, perfect, got them, love them.
How long does it take when you order them to get them?
It's like 3 months.
Yeah, it's a while.
It is a while. Worth it. But I rode them. I was like, they're so soft. You get so much flexion. You get so much feel. I was like, I can't ride anything else.
Right.
So now I have.
Yeah, I'm about due for a new set, so I may have to check
You
that
should
out.
try it.
I might.
You should.
So as we
Bruce
wind
did.
down, since we're
Yeah.
over time, we want to talk about the launch of the Super Pony owner membership.
Yeah, okay, so this is your department. First of all, before we go into this, did I cover everything okay? Is there anything else that Briggs
You
wants
did
to
really
say?
good. We didn't get into the breeding, but that's fine. We'll do that later.
I can do it real fast. Super easy.
Okay, go.
Okay, so Hadi, Couture, is sired by Corps Magnifique. So Corps Magnifique comes from a line of thoroughbreds that started with Cormac. So Cormac won the Maryland Hunt Cup in 1948, 49.
Right.
And then he had a injury on course at the Maryland Hunt Cup when he stepped on a whiskey bottle and I know, funny, right? Completely like
That's not funny, but it's funny it was a whiskey bottle.
funny because you're thinking of me.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
So I actually learned this story from the man himself, Billy Turner,
Right.
trainer of Seattle Slow. He so severed his tendon, and the horsemen at that time were just so brilliant. So this one guy was like, I can make a contraption. Made this contraption that held the leg together like the bionic boots now.
Yes.
And so it held him up so he didn't drop, got it all healed. He still had it in his house, and Billy talked about it. It was really cool. So anyways, there was a lady that Rick knew.
I'm glad this is the short
Nancy?
version of the breeding,
Yeah.
by the way.
Nancy Gosh.
Nancy Gosh. So Rick moved down to Newton, Georgia, right across from Nancy Gosh at Wooden Horse Stables, and she bred Cormac lines. And so Rick's first advanced horse, Ultimate Trial,
Yep.
was from that line, and Corporate Juncture, his other top horse at the time, was Cormac line. So flash forward, here's Core Magnifique.
That Elisa grabbed.
That
to
Elisa,
breed to her
Elisa
advanced
grabbed
star.
to breed to Leap of Faith, her horse that she took to the advanced level.
Yep.
And so third crop, Hottie was the last one, came out the smallest.
Which is
And
weird.
famous horses she's related to.
And famous horses she was related to was, so Cormac won, and then she goes back to Banui. So Banui is a famous thoroughbred stallion from the 30s that bred the majority of the show jump team's horse from the 50s and 60s and 70s.
Jim Twist.
So you got Jim Twist lines, you got George Morris's rides like Night Owl and Sinjin, and Billy Steinkraus horses, all of them.
And then Ballycore.
And Ballycore.
Right.
Ballycore is
Cool,
by
huh?
Cormac.
That's very cool. It's very cool.
So as we wind down, everybody, thanks for being here. We're going to do the Super Pony membership ownership, which will be 100% tax deductible. It's a $5,000 membership fee for 12-month ownership into the pony. We're going to offer 10 shares. Within that, you get a slew of things, and also the ability to have a weekend at Brickfield Farm to participate as a groom and participant in helping Briggs with the pony during that year. But you'll be owners at horse shows. Really cool thing. We're going to launch it. I'm going to get everything out there. So anybody that wants to do it, it's with the American Horse Trials Foundation. Hopefully we got that approval and the money goes there, and then it's 100% tax deductible, and you will be a part of the Super Pony Fan Club.
So if somebody wants to do this, how do they get involved?
Right now you're going to call me, or you're going to email me at rick@teamwallace.org.
Right.
I'll start getting the details to you. We will have, probably we're going to have a website in which you can go and it will be up, but through my email right now, we'll be able to get you all the information, how to get the money to American Horse Trials Foundation and how to be a part of this great ownership membership club. Only 10 people.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Briggs, you did great, except when Rick interfered. Other than that, you were awesome. Rick, you did
What else
really
do you have
well.
to say?
That's
Anything
it.
else?
I'm good.
You got everything?
No, I'm
You
good.
sure?
Thanks for having us on the show, John.
Yes, you guys were both great guests. So, thank you everybody for watching. That was actually really fun.
It was fun.
It was super fun. And I love that it smelled like my grandfather the whole time with your
love that.
pipe. Yeah, that was super. It takes me back. I feel like I'm on the shores of Lake Michigan.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So cool.
Nice.
Oh, it's so cool.
Y'all have like relatives from Michigan. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, yes, Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their slogan. All right, we'll catch you guys in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for watching. We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.